Hello, hello. Welcome to Pepper's Echo. My name's Andre, and it's good to see all your peeps out there again today. Let's take a look in the chat. Who's all here? I've got Buzzy. I don't know if Cam's on. Tell me if the sound is right. I'm still trying to make sure that this thing works. Buzzy, thank you very, very much on my late send out as well today. You get everyone in, and our beautiful lady in waiting. Congratulations on your son being there to visit. I didn't think you'd make it today. I thought you were going on a picnic. Hello, Fiona White Zulu. How are you keeping? Hendo, I've been busting to tell you, Hendo. I tell you what, I went to look at your interview. No wonder I couldn't find it. I thought it looked exactly like where Chris was interviewing Pravin Gordon. Then I realized, no, it's actually Hendo. I'm kidding, bro. Cameron, how's it going, my friend? I hope my sound is okay this time as well. Alison, hello, the beautiful lady from the Bay. How are you keeping me, dearie? Nick Miller, how's it going, my friend? Yeah, it's DVD. Dude, I nearly missed this one. As you can see, I'm late and my eyes are square. Tell you all about it now. Where have I got? And our bot, our favorite 6 Michelin star chef. How's it going, my friend? Alfruant, goeienaand. And Cameron, sound is 1000%. Thank you very, very much, Cam. Great stuff. What's DVD? Andre doesn't look happy. Seems like he won play. Yeah, it's exactly. I've just sort of come off. I've died for the. No, hang on. I've got to come back again. I'll try it straight afterwards. So we're not going for longer than an hour max because I have to go and play on my game. My wife has been lying around here with me on the bed watching her soapies or whatever it is. Dylan, how's it going? And I think I've got everyone. Hendo, or should I say Pravin? I mean Hendo. Really, it looked like when I looked at it, I went, I'm trying to find the one where he's interviewing Hendo, and I put it up, and it's like, no, not the one Pravin Gordon. Hey, hang on, that's not Pravin Gordon, it's Hendo. Okay. The game I am playing, and as you can see, it looks like barbed wire has been dropped over my face and dragged because ever since I got home on on Friday afternoon, I have been doing nothing but scouring and fighting for sanctuary in Diablo 4. It has been pretty amazing. I'm right on the end at the moment. And I'm like, I wonder if I'm going to get ill and not be able to make that stream because I was up until 1:30 on Saturday morning. Then Saturday morning, I slept in a bit. And then Saturday night and this morning, I think it was after 1 o'clock, I crashed again. And this morning, the first thing I did, yeah, you guessed it. So I am playing my heart out on Diablo 4. I'm a little bit worried because I'm not as powerful as what I should be. These damn things, they've made them scale up with you these days. So I'm telling you, I'm having my ass dunked at the moment. But yeah. So Waitula says, we had the most perfect day together. Thank you. That is wonderful. I am so pleased. I was really, really excited. I know what it's like to not see your family for a long time and then jump in there. What's Arbot say? Alison, what? You know, Dylan. Everyone I missed. Okay, hello. Hendo, I'm still doing my homework research on Secret Agent Man Chris White, watching Austin Powers movies. Groovy, baby, groovy. Yeah, my gaming laptop's done. It keeps freezing. Then I'm also on the laptop at the moment. As I said, everything will be revealed as to why and how come I'm stuck on the laptop. Talking about how come I'm stuck on the laptop, DVD, you know what I'm going to ask you, bro. And I can't ask you straight out there, but you know what I'm wanting to know. Can't recall if I greeted you, but no. Hello. Yeah, hello. Everyone is greeting. Hendo is Agent 1999, 999. As long as, Dylan, as long as you don't turn it upside down, 999 is still okay. It's when that evil little bugger comes in there that it's not okay. Thermal paste and cleaning. There we go for the gaming laptop. The initial game launches on the 6th. Early access was on Friday, and I'm telling you, it's had no time. DVD, you know what I'm going to ask you. PC. Did you watch my interview with Chris? No, I have not watched your interview with Chris yet, White Zulu. I'm sorry. I've been quite hectic until Friday. And of course, at work, we've had a bit of a server crash. So we've lost files and goodness knows what in the process. So that's been a bit of a inconvenience, if I can put it to you that way. But as I have been playing Diablo, I have prepared nothing, thought of nothing. I was absolutely, let me tell you, all kudos to my wife. I was spoiled to bits. I came home Friday afternoon and I just got undressed. The aircon was already on in the computer room. There was a huge platter of food, of cold meats and gherkins and crackers with cold meat on it and everything. A big a box of juice and Coke Zeros and 4 bottles of water, all standing next to the laptop over here, all waiting for me to be able to come and just game and snack away. So thank you very much, honey. It's much appreciated. So how do you like that? That's why you get married, guys. And that's why you pick the right wife. And that's why you married for 23 years. Arbot, I'm stuck with my gaming. My Xbox Series X is still in its box, and I can't access my Xbox Live account as my registered email address is cancelled. I don't think it's on Live. It's on Battle.net. So if you're going to go for Diablo, I absolutely love the look. I don't know if I can actually pull a little bit of in-game play for you. I'm going to just see if I can find something there. Hopefully I'm not going to throw sound up all over the place, but let's see if I can show you the trailer of what I'm busy playing. Wemo. Okay, wait. Let me do the unshare thing because I think I didn't share sound. I suppose I need to share sound, huh? And I suppose I'm in a window where no sound is now. Oh, wait. Okay, let's put it back. Right, watch this.
Bite my tongue. Your lives. Wait till the world is mine. Depend on what you do next. So for these ocean eyes. Choose wisely. You should see me in the crowd. I'm gonna run this nothing town. Watch me make a blow. One by one.
How's that? I have that snake. I'm a sorceress.
Blood on a marble wall.
There.
I like the way they are.
This is like in-game graphics. It's absolutely beautiful.
You should sing for the crowd. Your silence is my favorite sound.
I'm just, as I say, I'm going through it and I'm more astonished. I hope I don't get knocked for this song in the process because all I can see is me getting knocked off for that in the process.
You should see me in the crowd.
Oh, yes. That was me overexcited. Absolutely. I know it doesn't look good or whatever, etc., but yeah. Nee, dude, ek draai lyk na evil poof. Yeah, no, it's not probably the context with which you want to play, although it has a good context in it. But I just, you know what, the actual way they've made it, the reality in which the textures of the stone, the grass, the little puffs when you're running through the snow, when you're walking, and actually they have a brilliant um, concept. If you're in the mountain where it's snowing, you don't suddenly come down and it's dry. You actually come down into sludge and where the snow is melted and that before you actually go into the normal sort of dryness. You don't sort of like go wet dry type of thing. It's phenomenally thought out. The whole thing is absolutely phenomenally thought out. So yeah. Yeah, I'm probably going to get a copyright strike for that song. But yeah, I was just trying to show you the in-game graphic of it. It's hectic. Yeah, where's DVD and Arbot on the what's the name thing? But yeah, so I am having a whale of a time with angels and demons at the moment, and luckily I'm fighting for the good side at the moment. But it is yeah, you know, the first time I picked up a copy of that way back in the 2000s is when I ran out of role-playing games. I never ever wanted to pick it up because of the name. I don't really approve of the name. I really wish they had given it some or other name. But yeah, well, what can I do? And yeah, I picked this one up, but it just this one's so story strong. It's got such an open world now at the moment. It's, you know, when you finish the story, that's when the game begins, because it's just open for adventure all the way through. No, you don't deal with demonic angels. It's actual angels. But still, you know what? Nothing justifies right from wrong. So please do not let me get this for you for and say, you know what, it's justified. Unfortunately, it's not justified. So, as I said, everything in life is not right, and that's why I can't point fingers, because I sometimes I don't dabble in the dark arts, but yeah, I will play a game that's probably not as that's aesthetically beautiful, but it's probably not as wholesome as what it should be in kosher wise, if I can put it that way. Still part of the classics like Warcraft and Starcraft. Yep, I still play World of Warcraft. I have let my subscription lapse for a while at the moment because of Diablo. I can't pay both of them. It's a little bit expensive trying to pay a subscription and buy a new game, and Warcraft does get a little bit worn at the moment. It's probably the reason why I've never played any other games again, because I started playing World of Warcraft. One that I do want to take a look at is Jedi Survivor, the Star Wars one. I didn't play the first one, but the second one looks really, really good. No, Buzzy, you didn't nag me off my gaming. I just listened with half an ear. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so as you can hear, I'm speaking a lot about the gaming because that's all I've been doing. DVD, pay attention. DVD's gone old overnight. He stopped gaming all of a sudden, and he goes home and watches series now until he falls asleep and wakes up the next morning. He used to be the gamer that held the torch, and now, of course, possibly why I've had to step in is just for the sake of keeping the gamer's name going here in Cambodia. But yeah. Angels and demons. It's not really between angels and demons. It's in a land called Sanctuary, where they were actually supposed to be free from the war of heaven and hell and things like that. But I take a look and I think, well, if you're fighting demons and you're just a normal person as well, but if you're going to fight them, how many of us are fighting our own demons, and what are your own demons that you fight these days? And do we classify them as demons, or do we just classify them as stumbling blocks in our lives? What is there in your life that you're actually stumbling over? Do you classify it as a problem, or do you classify it as too small compared to somebody else's? How do you see things in your life? Often we have things that we're unhappy about or need help with or need to be taken care of. And I don't know, I find myself doing it a lot of the times as well. I look at it and I go, well, it's not really that bad. If you look at so and so suffering a little bit more, or this one's actually having a harder time than me. Are your problems big enough and not big enough to be valid for you as such? And are you someone who keeps on turning around and saying, well, you know what, it's not really that big? As far as I'm concerned, what we've got to start learning is that if it's big for you, it's big. It might be a pimple on somebody else's ass, but if it's a boil on yours, it's a big enough problem for you. So yeah, I've only ever played Super Mario briefly in 1997. Oh, what Zulu, you evil gamer, you! Brain in the drain, Dylan. DVD says he stopped because I tried to catch one of his live streams on YouTube. Oh, Cameron, what did you stop? Did you catch DVD's live streams at all? DVD streams live? We used to, not anymore. I've basically been doing this weekend is Joel. What have you been playing, DVD? What have you been playing? Alcoholism. You know what? I do not drink. I do not drink a single drop of alcohol when I'm gaming. I know it's possibly what people say. Oh, grab a beer, have a whiskey, whatever. I just it's like driving. You just do not want to impair yourself when gaming. Really. Cameron, ANC has been cut. What? ANC? It's a DVD. Is an old toppy gamer, old age pensioner now, asking a chummy. Cameron says the ANC has this confounded load shedding is my demon. Oh, geez, yes. I see it a lot on ZA Gamers. It's mad. It's mad what's happening to you. I suppose that's your demon in South Africa is having to stay calm through load shedding as well. And how does it affect many people? Because I think it affects not only the fact that it's affecting people financially and affecting people physically, but I think there's an emotional key to it as well. So, yeah, that's one of them as well. Waitulu, what's a Jedi Surviving? Just a game and not a movie? No, Jedi Survivor is a game. It's based obviously on the Star Wars movies and that, but obviously everything that they can suck out of the franchise, they will most definitely do so. So yeah, anything they've got the Mandarin, they've got Obi-Wan Kenobi spin-off series, and the TV video games, you name it. If they can make money off it, you know what Hollywood's like. Dylan, you're my hero. I drink daily. With this load shedding, it's hot Coke, bro. With this load shedding, it's hot Coke. What's DVD says? He says he platinumed Spider-Man Miles Morales and started playing Need for Speed Unbound. Okay, you're a little bit closer than what Neil says. CB, hello. Hello, CB. We're busy talking gaming at the moment. Probably not what people want to hear on a Sunday afternoon. But yes, it's what's on my mind, and we're actually taking a look and saying, what are your demons? What do you worry about? So, throw it up in the chat there. If there's something else you want to chat about, chuck it into the chat as well. Ice stays frozen. That's good. If load shedding still leaves ice frozen, you just don't open that fridge to get it. Waitulu says, I see everything positively. I have to with my disabilities. It's the only way to cope. Indeed, however you actually see things. But, everybody has something that bothers them, whether it's the way that you've been treated. Sometimes I have things that bother me from the past, and I've actually got to shake that off because obviously your past weighs you down and there's a lot of guilt ridden over there. Not going into too many details or anything like that, but I don't want to say a lot, but there's sometimes things I talk about. If you're looking at confidence, if you're looking at shouldn't have said something there. I should have worked. Like Friday. I was absolutely. I was actually quite guilt-ridden by the time I left work on Friday because Friday I was not much of a worker. Friday I was just waiting for Friday to end. Let's bring up these things a little bit. Hollywood. Trying to squeeze every cent out of the people, although they're taking heavy losses with their own. Yeah, definitely with their own woke agenda. They are definitely losing their look, spin it like you want to. Even if it's making millions and there's good amount of people coming, it's not doing what it could be. And if you take a look at it rationally in a ratio to where it was and where it is now, they're not making it. It's like art studio. You know what? Not everybody goes to an art studio, although it's something to be appreciated. So now they want to make movies to be appreciated, which not everybody, mostly, is not appreciating. Uh, Cameron says, my friends, yeah, I've also got friends that play Ark. Ark now playing Scum. Oh, I don't know what Scum is. I need to play Ark sometime, but I'll play it when I just calm down a bit because I'm on a Diablo high at the moment. Load shedding suspended until 4 o'clock. Oh, geez. You know what? That's the amazing thing. It's become a part of your life. Well, let's take a look. What's happening today? Well, we're going to go there. We're going to go there. Then we've got load shedding, and then load shedding ends there. And then we do that, and we cook food, and then we got load shedding. It's just become an accepted part of your daily drive as you go along. Can't wait to be able to get to tell you guys some other news, but because then we're going to have a lot to talk about. It's probably about a week or two away. Typical KP mentally. Typical KP mentality. Friday, can't wait to go home from work. Well, that was all I thought about. Was actually I've been waiting so long for this game. So yeah, and it's probably my demon because I have not played games heavily. It's only just lately with DVD putting down the games that I've decided to pick up the torch and carry it forward a little bit. But call it an Achilles heel, call it an escape. Do you know that actually they say that people who can't meditate, when your mind's too busy, like my mind's like really, really busy, I have an excessively busy mind, that if you have a really busy mind, gaming is like meditating because it takes your mind off everything else. And it really, really does. I mean, when you look again, time is gone, everything is gone, and you have not worried about the rest of the world for that time. It's you know what, when I get depressed, I actually want to go sleep. I just want to get away from the world. I want to move away from the world. Another escape definitely is just getting onto the computer and playing a game. Now that I don't often do, and as I said, it's just a really good release now. But I don't often do that. But I must say, it just you forget about everything around you for a while, and the world's a better place. At least that's what the Templar in Diablo 3 said. I'd like to think the world is a better place now. But yeah. Middag. Nick, goedemiddag, long time. So yeah, what would you guys say if you had anything to say? Because as I said, I just, let's take a look at Wacha Wachin while I'm about it. I nearly forgot, and I did put up my other stream. Chris Wyatt, don't forget Chris Wyatt, our main man from Pennsylvania in the USA who knows more about South Africa than what the ANC does. But yes, don't forget to tune into him. And if you enjoy Chris Wyatt, you can always pop onto a Rugby Ascent, which is a rugby channel with Chris Wyatt. He has all interesting interviews and views there. And don't forget the boykie from the Bay, our very own Ronaldo Gous. I was actually, the other evening, I was trying to catch one of the shows, and I just fell asleep. But anyway, we finished our exams. I got 2 left next week, and then we're done and dusted, which is really, really great. But then I can hopefully, I'm not even going to try and catch up. The only one that I'm trying to catch up is White Zulu, because I can't skip ahead in your book. I've got to carry on with it as I'm doing. So there we go. And then as I'm talking about White Zulu, don't forget White Zulu, and it is her book. She has different chapters in a book. I don't know what's your latest one. Is One Day Ago. White Zulu chapter 61. I'm invited to Hencho's family for the weekend. And it is so lovely. As I said, the nostalgia is absolutely out of this world. So, yeah, and if you want to know a little bit more, you go to www.whitezulubook.com, not just www.whitezulubook.com, and then you will find a little bit more about the story of a misplaced South African. And I don't know, let's pick a photo again. What do we got here? History book Natal. Oh, deftige photo die. And that's a dude, what's it, polo playing? Mom and pops, I'm assuming. But yeah, pop in there and take a look at it as we go there. What have we got saying there? I love modding consoles. 100% concentration needed. Otherwise, you break a console. There we go. It's once you get something that you can apply your mind to. What am I looking at? White Zulu says that's exactly what's happening. Let's go through there. I want Disney to pick up my book, White Zulu, and make a movie out of it. Depends, just perfect. I think your book's not woke enough. They're not going to pick it up. Your parents were heterosexual and not gay, and you turned out as a white kid, so I don't know. No, I'm kidding. I really am, but please don't take me hectically there. But yeah, Disney is really bent at the moment. You're going to have to wait a while for that to come out. Like Knitting Woman. What's it? Pepper's here. I'm a binge watching Manifest at the moment, says Buzzy. Manifest. It sounds really good. What did I watch last? I told you last week I watched Fuba. I was so disappointed with it. I finished it off, but it's like really like Arnie the Clown. And geez, he's got old. I wanted something like Tulsa King. If you haven't watched Tulsa King yet, you're missing out. It's the one with Sylvester Stallone, and that is brilliant. And I thought, well, we get something like Tulsa King with an Arnie in it. And no, we got Kindergarten Cop crossed with Weeds. But yeah. So smash that. Yeah, I keep on forgetting to say this, but I suppose I'm talking too much nonsense in the process. Please smash the like button and subscribe. Please smash the like button and subscribe as we're going along. So yeah, let's take a look at some what the facts. Crazy world that we live in. You think we're living in a crazy world in South Africa? Let's take a look at this one. Jasmine Ryder Richardson was 12 when she started dating a 23-year-old Jeremy Steinker. Jeremy claimed he was a werewolf and brainwashed Jasmine. Jasmine ended up killing both her parents and her 8-year-old brother because her parents didn't approve of their relationship. My ma sou my gat warm geslaan het. Yeah, no, I would have got the hiding of my life for doing that. Tulsa King, very good. Yeah, Tulsa King is excellent, excellent, excellent. Dylan, but identifies. Nick, I like that. As a white Zulu on my stoop. Yeah, no, I don't know. On it to work, he's just, I don't know. He was just so stupid, you know. You don't want an ass of yourself. And yeah, his little daughter always had to show him up and stuff like that. So maybe to a certain extent it was making it work, but I just figured, yeah. So yeah, here is what Al Pacino. Let's go there quickly. Al Pacino is 82 and he had a little baby with 29-year-old wife. He'll be 100 when the kid matriculates. How's that? Yes, you know what? That is something. Let's talk about that while we're talking about angels and demons and things to that effect. Let's talk about kids with older people. That is a fun fact, a strange fact, a real fact in Cambodia. Many Western men come here, and okay, let me not run off the rails too badly or whatever. Not all of them. I said many come here because they'll find a lady. You know, it's easy to find a lady, and the ladies who obviously are distraught or maybe looking for some kind of stable future or whatever, and then those who are actually honorable guys will actually stay with a lady. But you'll usually find out that they're 20, 30 years their senior, and you've got people of 50, 60 with little kids. That to me is like, wow, you know what? I'm sure it's nice, but what do you do when your kid's 20 and you're turning 75, 80? Never mind, Al Pacino's 82, and he's had a baby with what? A 29-year-old. Well, you know what? Single parent families these days is not unusual, and I don't think Al Pacino is really going to make 100. I have been known to be wrong, though, so let me not say that. But still, when are you going to run with your kid? When are you going to play ball with your kid? You know, no, honey, you can't play with dad now. He's getting oxygen. So yeah. No, honey, don't you dare hide Dad's walker. He needs it to walk from the lounge to the kitchen. Uh, what's Endo say? Watching sci-fi Silo at the moment. I heard someone said that was quite good. Someone was talking about it the other day, where they're all like stuck in a silo. It reminded me of Under the Dome. Did anyone ever see the end of Under the Dome, or did that just get cancelled or something to that effect? But yeah, it sounds similar to that. What's it? At least Ali's rich, so the baby will be taken care of. Yeah, no, look, there's no shortage of money there, but can money really replace a family? I mean, is there a family there? That is the next question. You know, um, that's the only thing, and that's why I say, yeah, in Cambodia you tend to find quite a few men who are pretty aged, with younger ladies with little kids, and yeah, I just wonder. I don't ask, I don't judge, but I just wonder how difficult it must be. Uh, what about Cube? I don't know Cube at all. You go to church when I can around here. Otherwise, that's why I get City Church, which I did put on this afternoon. I know I was probably about a minute or two late, but I did manage to put the gaming down to put the City Church up as well. And was the last one, I don't know, for a while. I think it came to the end of the term. I know they don't do it when there's school terms and that type of thing is out. So, yeah. What's Hendo say? Don't have kids when you're over 60. Well, at least I can still have kids, according to Hendo. uh, what's it? White Silla says the Africans come out very well in my book, so that's why I believe it would be as successful as Out of Africa is beautiful, and that's what your books always remind me of. Especially when she starts that farm, that book says Ekata Farm in Africa. Wow, and it's always, that's why I'm saying that's the nostalgia that it always brings me up to. Yeah, Cam says in modern times, money is the family. Yeah, I think that's what people tend to choose these days, eh? These days, if there's enough money, you've got a good family. Sad. It's like, so do you have a dad? No, I got money. Do you have a mom? No, no, I've got money. I got a trust fund or whatever. Who was talking to me the other day? We were talking about little kids, and she said, "Oh, we were here in Cambodia, but I was talking about we used to do outreaches and that in South Africa, especially with the biking and that." And she was talking about going out to. They used to do outreaches to schools and poor, but I mean really poor schools and stuff like that, and finding students there that were so good, maybe at drawing, maybe at singing, maybe and things like that, knowing that these kids are just never ever going to have the opportunity to actually go any further than probably picking oranges in the orchard singing to themselves. It's quite sad when you look at it that way, and which kind of rings the bell what you're saying there, Cam. um Money is the root of all evil. Money can't buy you happiness. All that wonderful stuff. I don't know. Uh, it can replace a pop. A hip. Oh, money. Yeah. Yes, it can. Where can I find Silo? Says White Zulu. So there we go. Cam, where can White Zulu find? I don't know where it's streaming on. Is it streaming on Netflix or not? Or is it acquired from other streaming services? We shall leave it at that. Did watch it today, part 4. White Zulu's book is Heidi Meets Africa. What? White Zulu's book is Heidi Meets Africa and Bart Simpson. There we go. It might actually work for Disney. Absolutely. More money, more problems. I don't think money ends problems. Surely makes you navigate them in style, but I don't think it actually ends them. Uh, it's easier to cry in a BMW than on the exactly what I was about to say. But yeah, is it the reason for crying in the first place? So yeah, um, how old should you be when you stop having kids? 50? Should you? I mean, I've heard people obviously having kids as early as in the early 20s. I've heard people say that the ideal time to have kids is when you're 30, so that when you're 50, they leaving school, and then you're going to work for your 50s to pay the university. And by then, when you get your retirement age, then they don't eat into your pension check and stuff like that. Um, I don't know, is it okay? I suppose if you've got a lot of money, it doesn't matter. But if you don't have a lot of money, do you have a oops somewhere along the line? I think I was a little bit of a late bloomer. Uh, yeah, I was like a hello, Dolly. Yes, it's me, Dolly. Yes, it's me. I came a little late, but here I am to stay. But yeah, uh, yeah, because my brother's like 14 years older than me, so go figure. But my mom is about the same age, a little bit older than Al Pacino, so it wasn't too late. Hendo says 55 years is the limit. No, 55, 65, 75, your kid should be 20. Should you give you probably about another 5 or 10 good years with your kid, unless you live to be 100. Cam says, I'm 40. Don't want kids in this day and age. Heck, if the ANC wins next year, Ellison knows what's going to happen. Yeah, you know what I've said very, very much what I've said about the ANC. You all know that I have the same feeling for the ANC as what you guys do, is that there's no love lost. Although because yeah, if you take a look, I don't know who's for and who's against Russia these days anymore, because we're for them, but we are talking against them. We did not load arms onto that ship, but the manifesto is classified, so you can't see what was loaded on that ship. We agree with the Western countries, but if Putin comes to visit, we will not arrest him because it's for BRICS, not for South Africa. Is he wrong? I don't know. But the ANC themselves, I think we all know what the outcome is going to be next year. I think the curiosity is just how it's going to get there. I think that's the biggest thing at the moment, is how it's going to get there. I don't know if there's going to be some adjustments. I sincerely doubt that the ANC is going to be ousted. If anything, I think, and this is my own opinion, if anything, I think we're going to end up with a lot of these little, now I've forgotten the word, EFF, ANC, IFP, whatever, all ganging together so that they can get their heads through and still keep hold of the country and still keep on, probably bribe a few guys with an extra couple of bucks in their back pocket and things to that effect, and the ANC stays. Yeah. Not having kids in this day and age, I think everyone has said that. I think every generation has said that it is not a good time to have kids in this generation. And then the next lot came and said, in this world, it's not a good time to have kids. And then in this world, it's not a good time. I don't think it's ever a good time to have kids. You can't ever actually make a time. You actually make the world for them when you have kids. In the end, you can't stop people from having kids. It's human nature, and it's procreation. But you know what, I do believe that the next generation is going to go, oh, this world is terrible, we can't have kids in it either. And you know what, kids are tenacious. They adapt more than what we do. We still have a lot of resentment against what happens because we have a past that we actually deal with the future. And the older you are, the more resentful you are towards that past, towards the future as you come from your past. Kids actually grow up pretty tenaciously. And then, of course, it also depends on the wholesomeness that is actually brought up within the family. I don't think it's the world. I think it's the family, because the world had orphans and abused children in the past, and it will in the future. And people are going to be making very, very bad decisions as they go along. I don't think it's to stop having children. I don't think you should if you don't want to. Like now, if you take a look at Ina and I, we've just never ever had kids together. I mean, we've got kids. I have one, she has three. So together we have a rugby team. But no, I'm kidding. But still, the bottom line is it's just not for us. It's just no. And I blame Viagra. It's got nothing with having kids, dude. It's just making life hard. The oldest woman to have a baby currently is 66-year-old South American Otopi. Oh, wow. Parties, Endo, thanks so much. I'll take a look. Okay. If the ANC stays, we're doomed. There will be genocide. I will choose what happens with my life. I don't know. I just think the ANC would be happy to rule over poverty, and they haven't been able to get the knack. I mean, they're still running around, as you heard what the writer said, in archaic means, running around the passages calling each other comrade. I mean, it's like me playing with dinky toys now and going brim brim. It's okay because I'm like a whole lot older now, but that's what I used to do when I was small. I'm not talking about guys who are collectors and things. So if you're collecting dinky toys, please don't take me the wrong way. It's just that, you know what, you grow up eventually, and I don't think they've ever grown up. Their minds have never grown up. They have a underdeveloped mind, unfortunately, because if you take a look at who's in the ANC, it's an old age home. It really is. It's people who are over the hill, a bunch of criminals who should have probably been in jail or at least been on pension by now. But because they're actually able to pound the butter for themselves at the moment, they're all stuck in one big crawl together. So it's literally what you would call Animal Farm. But yeah, I know I'm probably going to get axed for this, but yeah, it is what it is. And until you can actually dislodge this cancerous tumor from South Africa, South Africa is going to be ruled in poverty. And you can see the way they're pressing it down. Everything's going up. Income is coming down. And it's, you have, unfortunately, a similar situation to Cambodia, except for the fact that Cambodia is having an economy going up, even though currently Cambodia is probably one of the cheapest places to live. So is South Africa if you earn a decent income. But your income is going down and down, and it is not matching the rate at which everything is increasing. One of these days, you're not going to have South Africa being one of the cheapest places. But that's why people from overseas go on holiday to South Africa. Why? Well, almost 20 Rand a dollar. I need to take $1,000 with me on holiday, and I got 20,000 Rand. How's that? You take 2,000 Rand with you on $2,000 with you on holiday, and you got 40,000 Rand. How's that? So yeah, and then if you go into pounds, Hendo and Fiona will be able to tell us it's even better. So it is still a very, very cheap place. The only problem is nobody's been remunerated because the money's going otherwise. There's no upliftment and there's no investment into the country whatsoever at all. If you take a look at roads, utilities, etc., except we're now printing new money. If we're actually going to throw more notes into there, what we're going to do, we're going to devalue our money in any case, because you can only have an amount of money against the certain commodity that you have. I don't know what they're holding it against. It used to be gold. It's going back to gold. Clever. Russia and China have already been collecting gold, so they know exactly where they're going. So when the world switches their monetary back to gold again, guess who's sitting on top of the world? But that's another story as we go by, in my knowledge, and that is not high enough to actually go through. But yeah. So Cam says, "What's it? How do you raise a kid with load shedding? No one in history after electricity was invented had to sit with this. I don't want to have a kid growing where they can transgender without consent." Truth, truth. Look, load shedding. It's it becomes a norm to the kid that way. Unfortunately, I mean, it's like having a baby in a dystopian era. People are not going to stop having kids, even if it goes into dystopian era. Uh, but yeah, as far as you can bring up your child and then ask them what they identify as, so that you can treat them accordingly. Is just like no. What's the one thing say? Man followed my daughter into the bathroom the other day. He said he'd identified as a woman. His father took out 2 teeth after punching him. He identified as the tooth fairy. But yeah, uh, I yeah, what you're saying, and that's why I say it's a decision half. But once it's there, it's there. You know what? If you do get married, or you know what, you might get married to someone who has children, and then it's big decisions that you make in life, and you never actually realize them until they're there. Maybe you marry someone and they don't want kids, and you don't want kids, and that's fine. I mean, I think maybe like and I, we're very selfish at the moment. We don't want anybody. The only two people we actually give a single damn about is those two little fur babies of ours, and yeah, they are really rocking the boat with us. I can't touch if I touch a biscuit packet or a sweet packet, it's just like ching ching, and you take a look down. These two eyes looking at you. Where did you come from? It's like you have no idea where the dogs are, and then you and they there. Uh, no, Alison. You know, I hear what you're saying. Living on my own, field defenses, no emotional support, SAPs around. Yeah, that's ridiculous. SAPS does not exist anymore. I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm back reading that book because I finished the book on Bob Marley, and I'm back, and I'm going to read it for a while, and then I'm probably going to put it down again because it's most infuriating. I actually sit and work myself up terribly reading that book, Our Poisoned Land, and you know what? When I read about what the government is actually doing and the underhandedness and the blatant underhandedness that they're doing, you know what? It's like, remember when you used to, or you find a kid, or you used to be a kid, and they said, "Don't touch that cookie," and you look them in the eye, and you'll move your hand forward and you grab that cookie, and "Don't you dare touch that cookie," and you're grabbing it away, and "You will not have that cookie," and you shove it in your mouth before anyone can do anything about it. So yeah, and I'm actually been reading about a section on the Hawks, and what a pathetic, crumbling setup of conspiracy and manipulation. The Hawks is just an internal. They're understaffed, and they're only putting in their cronies, their comrades. What's in SA? I think SA will split up in different parts, especially Western Cape and KwaZulu-Natal. That is a possibility. That is a possibility. Then again, I just don't know if the greedy ANC will actually ever succumb to that, because they want it all. What's Arbot say? You work around load shedding. How did people raise kids before electricity? Even thousands of farms didn't have electricity when small towns and cities had electricity. That's why I say, even in dystopian, kids are pretty tenacious. What you are more concerned about, I think, if I can take a look with what you're saying, is society. I mean, I think people were concerned about society, I don't know how many years ago, and like, I don't want my kid to know about rock and roll. And next thing they're coming home and they want to know about rock and roll. And the next thing it was, I don't want them to know about pop. I don't want them to know about metal. And now everything is always involved. I mean, you had your sexual revolution. Now you've got your. I see that it's getting even longer. It was LGBTQT, LGBTQT plus, LGBTQIA. Now it is. I swear they're going to use up the whole bloody alphabet before long. But yeah, kudos to them. They must get on with their lives and get done with it. It's something that you're going to have to bring your family up with, and it's very, very difficult. It's not an easy thing. Yeah, you can play with toys as much as you like, but when it affects me, yeah, exactly. But then you should step down and not play with the people. I'm currently going through a very bad time. It involves the police as well. Oh, jeez, Fiona, sorry to hear that, and Alison as well. I don't mean to sound like a Debbie Downer, but my spirits are very low. I can't live like this. I will be retired, living on my own with no electricity, water, and what's. Um, I will be retired, probably sitting on the street in South Africa, hoping that one of you remembers this face because I'll be at one of your robots. I don't have anything to back me up at all. About a year or two, we started trying to make a small little savings thing, but I have no pension, no provident fund, nothing that's going to kick in, nothing that's going to pay for an old age home, nothing. So basically, I've got to work, and if I don't work, I've got to die because we don't have that. And yeah, it makes it even, and I share your sentiment, Alison. It makes it worse when you feeling so alone because as much as what two people can sometimes frustrate each other, always knowing that somebody's there to be frustrated by is probably a good thing. And I think it's important, once again, we've got to live for the current day and not speculate the future because we could speculate so much. And what is it going to do for us? I think it's very, very much a matter of trying to live with the times now, trying to be with the time now. And when I say being with the times, I don't mean hip to be square. I mean, try to actually live for today. And I don't say don't care about tomorrow, but don't let tomorrow depress today because you're going to miss today if you are going to be depressed about tomorrow. And I'm speaking to you with a forked tongue because I do that so often myself. Especially as I said to you, I can just go out and I can just say to myself, hey, you know what? Do you realize you're going to be selling pencils on the sidewalk in South Africa in 15 years' time? And then I think, well, I might as well enjoy it right now while I can because when I get there, who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'm not around anymore there to be selling pencils. Only thing is that people are going to be rather upset because they've got nothing to inherit. And I literally I don't own the sheets I sleep under. How's that? The house that I rent is furnished. I have my PC and stuff, but I do not own one bed. I do not own a TV. I do not own anything. I think there's a toaster that we bought. You buy little things here and there around the place. But yeah, all your infrastructure and that, I don't own anything. So, there's no trousseau or anything like that. Can I have your yeah, you can have my toaster, just import it. Mom dies for stepdad's going back to Ireland. My brother is immigrating. I have no money to immigrate. I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to say it again. It's the most difficult thing, but to live in the moment. I'm not saying live irresponsibly in the moment. You know what? Let me spend all my money today because tomorrow is not guaranteed. But I think it's very important not to rob yourself of small specks of happiness today because of an assumption of tomorrow. Come on a holiday here and take a chance in your life getting taken. I know it is a more dangerous place. It is a fact. 12:30 outside school Friday, 4 men jumped out of a car and helped 2 of us girls in grade 10 at gunpoint. That is mad. That is absolutely mad. And that is why you need, but I don't want to look at the good all the time, but it's very important that I don't drag you people down with bad all the time. It's not what I'm on the station for, but I'm on the station, on the stream, on it's where I'm running live station. I am by no means lifting South Africa up anywhere along the line, except for its absolute beauty, the wonderful people, and the infrastructure. I was talking about infrastructure. I was riding to school here the other day, and I was so frustrated. And I said, you know what? At least South Africa still doesn't have these crammed up places to have to like navigate through. It's still open. But yeah, no, open or not, crime is open. It's open season. Your cops, there just aren't enough of them. I mean, I was taking a look at the Hawks. I think there's like something like 100 and something people, and they had like 40,000 cases to do between them. And it's just, yeah. So the only thing I can say is that it's really, really, it's a difficult thing, but you need to try and still enjoy the smile that you can put on your face today for whatever reason. Only problem is the load shedding and the crime in SA is putting off for tourists. It is putting off for tourists. It is definitely. The normal tourists are definitely probably not as keen to go there anymore, because it's not a safe spot to be, because I think they actually prey on the tourists as well, except if you're a rich international star or rich international business person or something to that effect, because then you can afford to have people drive you around and live in the one name. But everyday people like you and I, yeah. Hendo, we're already stuck in a dystopian era, especially the lockdowns proved it. You know what the scary thing is? I was taking a look at Mad Max. I was showing DVD Mad Max, because he hasn't seen Mad Max 1, 2, and 3. He's just seen that crappy Fury Road with that other schlep, Charlize Tron, that can't spell or pronounce her own surname. But apart from that, I was trying to show him I wanted to show him the actual Mad Max series, where it came from. And I was looking at the very first Mad Max. And I'm like, you know what? We are not far off from the original Mad Max. The world where the world actually became a wasteland, looking for fuel and water and food, and everything was in disarray. And it wasn't like these dystopian movies where after the bomb, there was no bomb. It actually ran down itself into this type of world. So, hello, Wendy. Welcome to our very dismal conversation today. So I was looking at that. I was thinking, you know what, the world is actually almost hitting that dystopian type of time. And watch the first Mad Max and just almost put the blocks together. Mad Max was originally shot as in, I think it was 2022, if I'm not mistaken, 2021, 2022. When it was made in 79, if I'm not mistaken, it was shot as in 2022. How close they came. And it's not like spaceships and things like that. It's like normal cars and police still and everything there, but it's an absolute mess of things. You know, if you take a look at the cop shops, there's no high tech or anything there. It's just like this untidy places trying to keep a world together. You said it, buddy. Those fur babies costing both arms, Andre's arms and legs. That's it. I'm busy going for a kidney donation tomorrow. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, especially the one that points the tongue out. Yeah, Jesse. We're too dependent on electricity nowadays. Taking it all away is like telling us not to breathe. Yeah, look, I mean... you know what? We evolve. People evolve. I mean, nobody needed to get from... Nobody could. Nobody needed to. Nobody dreamt of getting from Johannesburg to Cape Town in a day, because it was just not done. Now, I mean, I saw someone the other day. I quickly need to fly from, was it Cape Town to Johannesburg? I just need to do business in Johannesburg. Can we get the same flight back? So yes, I've done it a few times already. You catch the morning flight at 7, and then you do business in Johannesburg, and you catch a 7 o'clock evening flight back again, and Bob's your uncle. We are used to instant. We are so used to instant, it's just not funny. Everything is instant. Even myself, if it doesn't happen now, I'm grumpy. Why? You know what? It is small stuff that I'm actually sweating. And it's a book that I've actually got hold of, and the missus and I reading it together. called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. It's all small stuff. And it's about just letting go of these things that have been made you so frustrated under nothing. And it's because we're instant. We're an instant nation. I've said it before. Everything's instant. I'm not too sure what I said. Don't come back to SA, because that's exactly why I was forced to leave. I was homeless, disabled, and broke. Yeah, well, where do I go? I don't have a home to go to anywhere else. You know what? When my time runs up, I get deported, and I have nothing to go back to. There is no one saying, "Well, come stay in a back room." Yeah, it's like hit the pavement, Brack. So I've got to live my life like every day is a good day, because when I can't work anymore, I can't live anymore. That's it. But I'm not going to look at that day, because it just might not even be around then. White Zulu, I will never ever go back to SA. Only family is still there. We've got kids, but they're all darted around on their own, and there's no ways they can take care of us. If we were there, we'd probably still be taking care of them. So that's also bonus. And I mean, you're still taking care of things from this side. I mean, it's yeah. And mom, well, unless she pulls up a bed in frail care there for us, no. Okay, you got White City says families here in England. That's nice. RSI 8's not safe anymore. You should say, where you coming from? I try to be grateful for smaller things, but everywhere you go, you see poverty, desperation. I will say my children that I teach give me joy, and I'm grateful for them. Indeed so. Indeed so. You know, you are not going to get by a day without finding thorns, unfortunately, especially in South Africa. I mean, I open up News 24, and they're pretty woke, but even them have got a couple of things there as well. But I open up News 24, Daily Maverick, the South African, and Marula Media. That's what I read every morning. And I just don't want to discuss it on the show, because it's something that everybody does know and works with. But I myself am in the stage where, as I say, I know I have nothing. And it's okay. I've kind of had to make peace with that point. It's okay. What am I going to collect up something for now? Yes, I'll try and make a plan. I mean, don't be irresponsible and stupid. I have tried, so that, you know what, even if I end up on the side of the pavement, hopefully I can feed myself or something to that effect somewhere along the line. And we'll see what we can do as we go ahead. I mean, I've got 15 years. I'm not going to wait 15 years, but I mean, we'll carry on doing something about it as we go. But it's not going to ruin my life right now. And I see a lot of things. You see poverty. I see poverty as well. I see a lot of poverty here as well. I just don't see unfortunately, the violence that South Africa has. I mean, South Africa's got a murder rate probably higher than the Ukrainian war at the moment. Sadly, it does. And I stand corrected to that. I'm not quoting from any figures, just in case somebody's going to nail me down on that. But yeah, it's just, you know what, if you don't enjoy the moments you have, you're not going to get a moment to enjoy. Zindo says it as well. The cost of living in Europe, UK, USA, most folks can't afford to travel as before. Less tourists. I'm trying to go through everything because I want to pull it to a close now. Family is more valuable than ever. Times, yes, your family is. My wife is very precious to me, as are my two little kids, and my mom as well. And that's about what we live for. I take a look at my wife, and she is the most adorable person when it comes to those little pups. When she puts their little T-shirts on in the evening to tuck them up and everything like that, I think to myself, she is probably the best mother ever if you see her with those two little dogs. Climate change has penalized you for years. My granddaughter keeps me going, not her homework. Endo won't be rich, but it takes less time. Spoiled living in society of instant gratification. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Where everything is instant. Dylan, you're a true trooper. Thanks, buddy. You're a pal. No, I'll make a plan. Do you have to retire at 65 in Eastern countries? I live teaching in Thailand. No, I have a teacher who's 72 years old who works for me. So, no, you don't. I just work out always that it's around about 65 that you're going to be saying, you know what, it's almost time. But if I can work until I'm 70, if do what I'm doing at 70 and I'm happy, I'm not quitting. I'm really not quitting. But I think there is a time that comes that you need to put the tools down. But no, you don't have to. At 65, you can. As I said, I got 2 teachers actually over the age of 70 that are at school still, and they teach fine, and there's no problem. And it's not like they're both English teachers. It's not like they're specialized teachers or something that we're holding on to them because we can't find anybody else. It's just that they're still teaching, and that's not a problem. We should do WhatsApp. We should do a WhatsApp group call and discuss some of these things you can talk about. Yeah, you know what? I think we should actually. What do you guys think? I'm so far behind in all of these things. I've got to. I've skipped a whole lot of things. I've been my own worst nightmare. I've skipped a lot of questions now as well. Not questions, but a lot of chat. But anyway, so I don't know. Would you guys like to call in sometime? Should I make a call in maybe next time or something like that? We can get up and chat about it. And chat about a lot of things. I just, you know what? I'm not saying that the facts are not there, and I'm not saying that I'm sticking my head in the ground. And once again, I do realize, and trust me, I realize it when I tell you that there's. I mean, I nearly died going to hospital. Yeah, I would absolutely want to. I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably die before going to hospital in South Africa, because if you don't die before, you'll die going there if you don't have some kind of medical aid or something to that effect. And then you're going to have a pretty high one, because even the semi-private clinics and things like that are not the most fantastic these days. But I'm not overlooking reality, and I'm not being a Mr. You know what, just think positive thoughts thingy type of thing. I hate it when somebody says, just think positive thoughts. I want to slap their teeth into next year. You know what, free dentures for everybody, because that's not the way to go. Most definitely. The biggest problem that I have is when somebody has a problem and then you keep on saying to them, think happy thoughts. And you think to yourself, you know what, how the hell do you expect someone to do that? Or someone says, no, you mustn't be here, you must be there. How? You know, especially these guys who are rich and money and like, oh, you know, and I've been caught with it. I got caught with going on a seminar and then signing up for some thing for your business or whatever for like 30,000 Rand. That just blew me right out of my eye. I must have spent easy 35,000 and then a couple of extra things. I mean, my business, I started spending money just like you would not believe on these schemes and things. And it's easy for someone to say, well, you know what, life's not that bad, I have all the money in the world. Not that, but I mean, they have a lot of money and they've made it somehow, and good for them if they've made it. But they're making it on the backs of people who they're making promises to that they can't keep. You know what, I'll save you time, I'll save you money, I will keep you. I watched the seminar the other day because I wanted to look at planning a bit better. And then once again, I watched it, and there's these great people, and here's the step 1, here's step 2, and here's step 3, and here's step 4. And this is how we do it. But you're never going to stick to it. So what you need to do is you need to subscribe to me, and we will give you a backup team, and we're going to give you weekly mails, and we're going to do this for you, and we're going to have a bi-weekly planning session, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and you pay us that. And I thought to myself, you know what, all this webinar was one big promotional shebang. Anything for free is never for free. You know what, if this webinar is free, it's not for free. If this, like I went to in South Africa, I went to a thing and it was actually not free. I think it was like 500 Rand or something like that, and you come and we'll tell you all about this, and in the end it was a 30,000 Rand for this. And No, you know what? Nothing's for free. But and I know if you got money, you probably seem to be happier. But the harsh reality is that most of us don't have that kind of money. The harsh reality is that most of us live in the thick of things. And the harsh reality is that the fact is a fact that South Africa is not prospering where it should be, and that there is a lot of pain, there's a lot of crime, there's a lot of lack of things in South Africa. All I'm saying is don't let that rob you of the smile that you can put on your face for a moment. You know, by all means be cognizant of it, but by all means, it's really, really important that your heart is allowed some form of happiness. Don't let the ANC can take so much away, but they cannot take your happiness, your smile, that little bit of a heartbeat away from you. If you let them do that, you've given it to them. Don't let them take that. Yeah, calling would be nice. Said a call in would be nice. Maybe we can talk about funny moments from life's a good life. Yeah, let's call in next week. I think let's talk about our most embarrassing moments next week. Wet. I wish I can get some wet and cold weather. Yeah, so tired of heat and heat rash and flipping with my legs sticking together at night and things like that. It's just ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous. Guys, so we all have our demons that we fight as well, and we have a country that we sometimes does not want to make us see the light of day at all. It's really, really important that even though the future may look bleak, that we do not let that future take the smile across our face, which might be granted only for 5 minutes today, but at least that we hang on to that smile that we have for 5 minutes today. It is so important that you're entitled to that little bit of happiness. It doesn't matter if it's a baby crying, if it's somebody saying thank you, or somebody just smiling to you, or smiling at you. Smile back and enjoy that little happiness, that little bit of joy. Doesn't matter how big or how small it is. Fact and reality is that we don't all have the money to be happy, and we don't have the money that is going to make it for us. And the only thing that the ANC can't take away from us is those private little moments of joy. Hang on to that, and don't be irresponsible about tomorrow, but don't let tomorrow destroy today. You take care. Have a good one. Be good. And if you can't be good, be kind. Cheers.